Okay, so I don't know why I keep making these sort of relationship type videos, but actually I think this one's really, really relevant to me. So it's things not to do in relationships. It was actually requested last week, or by the time I put this up, probably like 4 weeks ago. Yeah, I put on Instagram that I was going to have a filming day and did anyone have any suggestions? And this was like the most requested video. It was how the hell I keep messing up these relationships, which I can understand what people want to know, because it's like, don't make the same mistakes as Trisha, because she's clearly not very good at relationships. But I have put together some, I guess, and this is just not in my like previous relationship, but this is relationships before that, but things not to do in a relationship from both sides. So things that I think they did and things that I think I did that made the relationship just not really work out that well. The first thing is trust. If you don't trust somebody, or you have like a bad feeling about them, or you have an instinct, then just go with it and just trust it. Because the minute somebody else comes along, like another girl comes along, or the minute another guy comes along, even if it's just a friend, or the minute you meet somebody else in terms of friendship or through work, that person is just going to get really, really jealous, and that person is just going to find ways to kind of have digs at you. It's just not a very nice way to be in a relationship. So if you constantly feel under attack and you constantly feel that you're being scrutinized about things that you haven't done, then it can make for a very, very, very bad relationship. So, and I know sometimes at the beginning of a relationship you're quite insecure anyway, because you kind of wait till that person is a little bit more into you, or you wait till you feel a little bit more stable in the relationship. Unfortunately, sometimes people don't get to that stage, and then you constantly feel like you're being interrogated about things that you haven't done. And same goes for, like, you know, the girl or the guy. So this could happen on either side. So for example, if you are working somewhere and then a new person starts working with that person and they end up spending a lot of time together, that can cause problems in the relationship if you are not solid to start with. And if you have your insecurity issues to start with, then basically that is going to be the complete recipe for a disastrous relationship, because not only are you going to have your insecurities, but then you've got this jealousy issue, and then trust issues start coming in as well. So it's all kind of under the same category. Like, if you're not stable in your relationship and you're not secure in yourself, it is going to cause all sorts of jealousy issues in relationships, and that is like the biggest reason to get out of a relationship. Like, you just know it's not going to get any better. I just feel like you know it's not going to get any better if that's the way that your relationship kind of feels. The other thing to do is like to give each other a little bit of space. So have alone time, have times when you're like with your friends or he is with his friends, and don't ever make them feel bad about spending time with their friends. So if you have arranged to go out with your friends, then he should be okay with that. And if he's arranged to go on a, you know, like a boys' holiday, you should be okay with that. As long as it's not one person giving and the other person just taking everything, then I think it should be mutually okay for you to spend time with your friends and him to spend time with his friends. Some couples have issues about that. So I know some couples, you know, some guys don't like girls going on a holiday with their friends, and some girls don't like guys going on holidays with their friends. I think that's silly, because I feel like you can't just go on holiday together all the time. You need to have your own space. You need to have your own time. You need to spend time with your own relationships in terms of friends and family before they came along. And I feel like it's really important you have that kind of clear understanding that if it's okay for you to do this, then it's okay for me to do this. And I feel like there should be like a mutual understanding. It shouldn't just be one-sided, and one person shouldn't be made to feel guilty about wanting to spend time with their friends or spend time with their family. And I feel like if that person is very one-sided, and then, you know, they're allowed to go on a holiday but their partner's not, then I feel like, again, that's just a complete recipe for disaster, and everything's just going to go completely wrong, and the relationship's going to end really, really badly. I think also, if you don't laugh in the relationship, it's very, very, very hard to form that like emotional attachment to that person. And I've said this in previous videos about relationships. Like, if somebody makes me laugh, I fall for them really quickly. I'm not saying I just fall for anyone that makes me laugh, but if I'm already attracted to somebody, and if I already clicked with somebody, if they make me laugh on a regular basis, like, I am not going anywhere. Like, I am going to be so happy in that relationship. I feel like it's really important to laugh together. I feel like it's really important that you have things in common that you can share together. And I feel like it's really important that you just constantly keep learning about each other. But laughter is like so important. If you don't laugh in your relationship, number one, that's boring as shit. And number two, I feel like there's that barrier between getting like emotionally attached to somebody if you don't laugh together. Because I feel like that is so, so, so important. laughter is like the best medicine for everything. And I completely agree with that. If you don't laugh together, your relationship's like a complete disaster. And you should get out early. If that person's all formal and serious and stuff the whole time, you should get out early. If you're not laughing together and you don't have the same sort of, you don't have to be exactly the same person, just the male and female version of each other, but you have to kind of have that emotional attachment. And for me personally, it's laughing. Okay, so the next thing is to compromise. There are going to be things that he doesn't like that you do, and there'll be things that you don't like that he does. Just deal with it. If it's something really, really minor, then just go with it. If it's something a little bit major, then discuss it and see if things can be changed. Just compromise. If he wants to go and watch a really crap movie, just go with him if he's asking you. The same thing with you. Like, if you want to go to a concert and he really doesn't want to come and watch, and if you want to go with him, then he will have to kind of compromise on that and he will have to go. But I think just generally compromise, understand each other, understand what each other needs and wants, and just kind of go with it. If he happens to be working late because he's got something to do, or he's got a project for work, or he's got an event for work, then just go with it. Don't make a big deal about him not having time for you, because at the end of the day, he's probably trying to save money for your future. So if you can, like, just support him, then that is great. I think supporting each other is another really big thing. Like, it could be a hobby, it could be something to do with your work, it could be something in your life that's taking up a little bit more time. You need to support each other, because it probably will only be temporarily, but at the end of the day, it's something that you need to do, and you don't want someone making you feel bad about it. So if it's, like I said, for example, if he spends time playing football, or he spends time doing something and it's a regular thing that he does, then just deal with the fact that he does it and just let him do it. And if it's something that she does, so if she, I don't know, if she's a makeup artist and she does, like, you know, she earns money in the evenings after work or something, then just support her, because at the end of the day, it's probably for your and her future. So just support each other with different things, whether it's careers or hobbies or just anything. And I think that's really, really important as well. The other thing is, like, to have things in common as well as, like, learning about each other. So have things in common, like the same movies, maybe like the same food. So you've always got movie choices to go to, you've got food choices to go to, and, you know, if you don't really have stuff in common, you don't really have stuff to talk about. So it could be something to do with music, it could be something to do with films, it could be something to do with restaurants, it could be, you know, you've both got, like, traveling in common and you want to travel, and, you know, you can make a bucket list together and, like, decide on places to go and just do your things together, because that would be just amazing. And the last thing is, like, you have to be able to be yourselves around each other. Like, the person that you are inside, and the person that your family know, and the person that your sister knows, and the person that your best friend knows, is the person that he needs to know as well. So there's absolutely no point if you're one person in front of him and then you're completely different around your friends, because if he ever meets you around your friend, he's going to think that you're, like, he doesn't really know you, and it's going to be weird. So if you can't be yourself around each other because you're worried about upsetting that person, or you're worried about talking about something that you know he doesn't like, then you shouldn't really be with that person, because it's just, if you can't be yourself, it's just a complete waste of time. So make sure, you know, you can say things in front of him that you want to say, and you're just completely yourself, because at the end of the day, this person is in love with you, and if you try and be someone else, then that person isn't actually in love with you. So you can only hold down a pretense for a little while. And I think, you know, the best relationships, in my opinion, are the ones where people are friends first, because when you're friends with somebody, you're best friends with somebody, you know each other inside out, you know everything about each other, you know how people are going to react to different things. If you start dating someone because you were attracted to them, you might act in a slightly different way just to get their attention in the first place, but eventually, you know, you have to be yourself, you have to be completely yourself to get that person to really like you. So that is things not to do in a relationship, and things to kind of do to fix it. And I would say it's a combination of things in the past that I might have done, and it's a combination of things in the past that they might have done, cause a problem or cause a long-term problem in the relationship. So these are the kind of things I'm looking for. These are the kind of things I'll be working on, so that in my next relationship, I'm kind of knowing what I'm looking for and what I'm not. But yeah, if you have anything that you want to add to that, then please let me know in the comments below, and I will see you guys very shortly in the next video.